Hello and welcome to irishracing.com. For this week's stable tour, I'm heading to Shark Hanlon's yard to get updates on stable star Hewick and some other exciting young horses in the yard as well.
It's only 2 furlongs on circle. That's all we have up the road, and we have Jared Mullen's Gallop, which is a mile around. It's all weather and it's a lovely job. So it is. We do all the slow work here and we do the fast work above. We try and get out all the horses every day out the paddocks. They're the ones that was ridden earlier out there in the middle, and there'll be another lot out there now in a minute, and we come around then and bring them in and out the next lot. So Hewick spends a lot of his time out there. Just with the rains after falling in the last fortnight there, everything is getting caught up, but listen, the horses are better out, get a roll, let them enjoy themselves, you know. But our yard is a kind of a selling yard. We be selling, like, I had a horse, bumper horse of second that are even, and a horse of fourth, a horse of fifth. There's bumper horses there now to run the next fortnight or 3 weeks. They're all for sale, because the only way I can keep the yard going is have them for sale. I'd love to keep them in the yard. I would love to keep them in the yard, but it's very hard to get new owners. It's not easy. Like, I thought after I win in the King George that I'd have a team of owners that had come. I had a lot more owners come when I was in America. You know, it's amazing. I thought to be the other way around, but and I had young horses here to sell them, and some lovely young horses to sell. But like, we only ran 2 bumper horses there. One of them was second and one of them was third. And but we never even got a phone call about them. So, like, I suppose money is not that plentiful, I'd say, in Ireland at the moment. And although when you see the sale the other night, you'd say that there was no scarcity of money. But
did you go up to the sale the other night?
I went up to the sale, so I did. But Jesus, it was a very good trade. So it was even the horses that hadn't ran, and the horses, like, there was a horse there that was third in the maiden hurling. I think he made 350,000 or something. You know, like, it was a very good sale. So it was a very good sale. And now the 4-year-old Point-to-Pints are started last week. So that's an exciting time. This is always an exciting time. We'd say for a month or 2 months before Cheltenham, it's always going to be exciting, and you have all the 4-year-old Point-to-Pints starting back. Well, still a Point-to-Pinters. We kind of made most of the horses this year. We made bumper horse out because of Paddy, but usually we'd always have 8 or 10 Pointers there to win and sell. You know, that's the plan. We have probably only 5 or 6 in this year, and the rest of them all go for bumpers.
Yeah,
I made a comment the other day. She's the best filly that I ever had or ever trained.
That's some statement.
She is now, and she's good. She's very good. Silver Pageant is her name. She's entered for the weekend, but I think I won't run her. Ground is just what rain fell yesterday. I said the ground is going to be too soft. But she's one of the younger horses here, only a 4-year-old that we love her, so we do. She's bred by the Queen, and I bought her last year. But she does everything real right. I suppose this year we're here, we have a lot more young horses than we ever had before, because I suppose Paddy is coming of age now. He's 16, he'll be 17 in June. He went over to England there and got a licence in England, rode a winner over hurls, and we tried to give him as much support as we could. He was over with Charlie Post, Charlie was very good to him and taught him a lot and done a lot of schooling and that, and he rode in Point-to-Pints from. So for a young lad only starting out, like, it's a big help. So it is a big help to him for, we'll say, next year.
Yeah. So
hopefully he gets on and gets going. He's tall, he won't be at it forever. So he'll just have to take whatever comes. He himself and Hewick are together for a long time, I suppose, and he's after spending 2 months over there now, but just getting near a Gold Cup now, and Taddy thought it was time to come home.
He didn't want to miss out.
No, he didn't want to miss out. He'd all missing out in nothing, so he don't.
And you've got plenty of riders here. It's good staff around the place.
We have good staff, plenty of riders. We have there's three inside mucking out, and there's many is there, 3 and 2 is 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 riding out there. So we have this kind of time of the year is kind of a busy time of the year for us, because you have the winter horses and the summer horses.
Yeah.
But like, you'd be hoping that you'd always pick a star up somewhere along the way. I remember saying to Desi Hughes years ago about it. He was on a good run, he had a right run of horses, and I said to Desi, "Geez, your horses are flying." And he said, "John," he says, "you have to have numbers to be flying. So many bad ones out there," he said, a few good ones will come through. And it's very true. And the longer I look at it now, the more right he was.
The last horse here, third in the bumper in Gordon last year, but he had a bit of a roundabout journey there.
He had a third in bumper in Gordon there a couple of weeks ago. But I sent him to England. I thought he wouldn't get beaten in Fontwell. And the race meeting was called off. And then Paddy was riding a couple of days later in Leicester, so the horse went to Leicester. And then he came back to the boat, and the boat was cancelled. So he didn't get a boat on Wednesday night till, I think, just 10 o'clock to get a boat Wednesday night. And he came back here at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he ran in Gordon the next day. It wasn't, for a 4-year-old, it wasn't really the right thing to do, but he ran very well, and he's a nice horse, so he is.
Any plans where he go next?
In about 2 weeks' time, he'll go wherever he goes. He'll take a bit of beating. He wants better ground than what we have as well, and he wanted better ground. That day in Gordon, the ground was very soft. Coming here, he's a Theophilia horse belonging to TJ McDonald, the Horns Hewick. He's a 5-year-old. He was weak last year, as you can see there. He's much stronger now. He's back in training there maybe 6 weeks, but we like him. He's
this lad, yeah?
Yeah, always is. He's a horse that by Theophilia, which means he'll stay, and he could have a little bit of toe as well. But as a 4-year-old, he'd done a couple of nice bits of work for me, and we were going to run him. Then the winter came, and we didn't get to. But I think, done him the world of good to let him off there in October. He's back in there since Christmas. So he's a kind of a horse there for the end of March or something like that again. Like, oh God, it's only 2 furlongs round, but do you know something? You'd know the 1 second, and I'd spot him, so you would.
And how early on did you know Hewick was showing a bit? Like, obviously cheap purchase, you probably weren't expecting.
As a 3-year-old, he done plenty of good, nice bit of work for me.
Yeah.
And just everything went wrong in a pint to pincher. He fell and he got brought down. He got brought down the first day, and the second day he skidded on the ground. The third day he fell, so everything went wrong. I said to Rachel, we're coming home after the third day, and I said to Rachel, I said, we've done a great job on him. I said, we turned a £100,000 horse into worth nothing. That's exactly what I said, and that's what happened. But that can happen with these 4-year-olds. Little things can happen. He fell the first. He got brought down the first day, and the second day he skidded along the ground below on Boris. I thought he'd win, and the third day, the young lad there rode him here, and he fell off him.
Would you say feeling the pressure then? I suppose if you're thinking of selling these horses and they're
pressure for tires. Horses are not. Anything can happen with a horse. You can't really depend on a horse, you know. And you could have one horse here and you could be showing everything at home, and when you go to the races, it's the other horse that could come out and win for you. So, like, as Desi Hughes said again, it's a numbers game. Yeah, he'll do for today. Tomorrow we'll do 3 5s. All right. He's only back there. He worked yesterday. He's in right form, isn't he?
He's not a good horse feed.
Yeah, he was very good. He's only back in for Galway. Me's love Galway, and he's after getting the winter off. He's only back in there 2 weeks, so he is. They have a nice horse. They have her, and they have filly, one in the north, one on the flat in the north, one in Galway last year. And franchise.
And they're good supporters.
Since I've started, they're being good supporters here, so they have. With this one, though. This horse, he's a nice horse. He's by the Bowie out of a Galileo mare. He cost 600,000 as a foal or a yearling, and I bought him then. He came out of Darley. I was told to go buy him. He runs in a bumper, I think, in Nason on Friday. But he does everything right for me, so he does. I bought him in Newmarket, so I did. He's real well bred. Over Galileo mare and by the Bowie, you wouldn't get any better, so you wouldn't. But he'll be a lovely horse for a bumper. Hopefully, Nace won't come too heavy for him. But he does everything right at home. He was away there a week ago for a school and bumper, and he worked very well. So I'm hoping that he'll take a lot of beating first time out.
Is he one with owners, or are you...
No, he's a horse I bought again for Paddy to go try and win a bumper on, and then he'll be for sale. But he's a lovely, quiet horse. He's just been out there rolling this morning. He was ridden out first lot this morning, and he's just been out rolling. He's happy out in the muck. So he is.
What was the name?
Lion City.
So one to watch out for.
Yeah, I think he'll be a nice horse. He runs on Friday. I bought her in England, so she did. The Meads family owned her, and she won Dulster Oaks first this year in Downryle, and she won in Galway. She's only back in. It'll take a bit of time to get her ready, but she's one to look forward to down the road. He's a horse that the Syndicate owns, my big Syndicate. He's only back in. He's a horse I'm looking forward to. He was going to win in Downryle and got carried out at the last. And there's a huge Syndicate, there's nearly 100 people in the Syndicate, and it's great fun when they're around. They're coming down, as a matter of fact, 15th of February, they're coming down, the whole lot are coming down. But he's a horse I'm looking forward to. He's after being on the flat, and now he's going over hurdles. So he's a horse that I think in time, he's a big horse, and when he fills out in that, he'd be good, but he needs a bit of good ground. And looking forward to this lad now. I think that he could be a little bit special. You afraid you won't get out? Oh, yeah. He's coming for you. He is.
What's he like to deal with then? Is he
character. So here, look. Oh, he's not. He's the quietest old lad of all time. A child ride him.
And he came out to the King George well?
Not a bother on him. He came home the next day here, and you could let him out in the field with off rolling and kicking and bucking, didn't you? Something you dream of, like you take what small trainers and earn. Would anyone love to have one like him, you know? And I suppose for racing is good as well. It's not a big name, and he's a fun horse. And
the King George, like, were you going over there confident, or did he surprised a lot of people? Like, did he surprise you as well?
He didn't surprise me, no. I thought that they were going to go too hard, and they went way too hard. Like, Frodham always makes a run for the last 5 years in it, and the other lads took him on, jumping the second. So when Frodham wasn't able to make the run by himself, and you had Alaho and all the good horses were there on his tail the whole way, they had to be going too hard. Yeah. And now I didn't think we'd be left as far behind, but I said to Gavin Sheeran, I said, listen, I said, Gavin, I said, they're going to go a million mile an hour. I said, you could be 10 lengths off and going down the back. But I said, don't stop riding. I said, because you're best 2 furlongs to be the last 2 furlongs. And that's exactly the way it worked out. And he said to me when he came back in, he said, Shark, you got it 100% right. And
Gavin gave him a brilliant ride that day. Jordan, will he be back for the Gold Cup?
Listen, Gavin knows that it's Jordan's ride. If Jordan is not back, I'd say that Gavin would probably do the job for us again, you know. And he knows, I said it to him after the King George, that Jordan was Jordan's ride. So I haven't spoken to Jordan in the last week now. He's hoping to get back there, I think, in the next fortnight. So I know that Jordan won't ride a horse if he feels that he can't ride him. You know, and I have that much confidence in Jordan. I know everyone loves riding good horses and everything, but I know that he won't do that.
And you made a decision to skip America this year, obviously. Must have been a tough call to make, like, considering what he did there last year.
Listen, we did because we were kind of training for a King George and for a Gold Cup. and we kind of went to every cockfight in the country last year, but we picked up a lot of money ahead. And this year we just made a decision that we'd go for the King George. It was always more on my mind than Leopardstown, because the ground in Leopardstown don't be just as good. Like the water, if it's going to be good ground, they'll water it. So they didn't water it. They got enough rain without watering it, so they did. But like I wouldn't have ran him at Christmas in Leopardstown, or I wouldn't have ran him at the Racing Festival, because the ground was too soft both days.
And you've kind of longer term plans as well, like next year you might go back to America and two other places?
America, Australia, there's a couple of races that, and we know we're going to get good ground in it. So, like in Ireland, it's nearly a thing of the past to get good ground anymore, because even during the summer, if the ground is good, they'll water it back to yielding or soft. So I'd say he's not a horse for Ireland, really.
Do you think he's getting the recognition he deserves, or do you kind of like being the underdog going to these big races? Like he's King George, but I know he's still kind of not being talked about as he's as a top contender.
I laughed after winning the King George. The first thing that some of the media said was it was a bad King George. I never saw a bad King George in my life, and I never saw a bad Gold Cup in my life. They're all bad until you want to go win them. But listen, we're underdogs. We don't mind being underdogs at all. Less pressure.
Kind of, you target England a fair bit with horses, kind of different level of horses. You've won big races in England with Hewick, but you win small races as well. What do you think of like the Dublin Racing Festival now, for example? Like, are you surprised more English trainers don't target our races here as well?
Well, listen, I don't think the English tagged the racing here, because I don't think they'd be able to be with Willie's horses. Yeah. And that's the big problem. You see it over the years there. When we go to Cheltenham, we're able to take kind of control of a lot of the races. And I think Willie he's a bigger power of horses now than he had a couple of years ago. Yeah. And fair dues to him. Willie started with nothing. He built up his owners, built up his people. But I just think that he's such a power there behind him at the moment that I couldn't blame the English for not coming.
Yeah, and you have good success over England at all kind of levels as well, but it's kind of maybe a little bit easier to target horses over there?
It is, but the problem we have now going to England is the expense. One time we'd be able to put 6 horses on a lorry and go to Perth or go to Market Racing or wherever, right? And all you had to pay for was the diesel and the boats. But now, with the new rules that are in, it costs about, without diesel and boats, it costs 800 a horse. So I think that the horses that are going to England from now on will be very little, because of the rules. Like when you're going over, you have to have vets going over and you have to have vets coming back. And now the paperwork alone for the horses is around £800 a horse. So and the races over there are not worth a fortune. So it's a kind of a thing that I think it'll die out in its own time, especially for the lower grade horses.
About England again, obviously the English national is a big target for Hewick. Should be a race that suits him now, is that it?
I honestly said it, and I said it early in the year, that the English national is probably the right race for him. And it's there in the back of our head this year that we might go for an English national. I know he'll have a lot of weight in it, but the only thing about an English national is that everything will have a lot of weight in it. It's a kind of a 15, 16 pound handicap now. Like I was just going through last night, I think Gordon at 23 or 4 and they're all 150 and 60 horses. So that means that, and he'll run nearly everything in it, right? The field is down now, that it's a smaller field this year. So that means that the lower rated horses won't get in. So you're going to have more compact national this year, and I think that the trip is open to the ground. He'd stay galloping all day, and and even the Gold Cup, I think it'll suit more than a King George, because the King George is only 3 mile, the Gold Cup is 3 mile 2.5, and he ran a cracker in the Gold Cup. I know he fell last year at second last. Lads are saying, he was beaten. He came off the bridle. With this horse, you never say he's beaten.
Which horse would you be most scared of in the Gold Cup?
Listen, Willie's horse and he's a machine, and Martin Brazel's horse is a machine. But the only difference is that they're after having 2 races this year, 2 hard enough races on a soft to heavy ground. My horse is going fresh, and I'd love to see the ground coming up good.
We saw his brother here last year as well. He was a foal yearling, I think. And
That's right.
You bought another one, I think, did you?
I did. I have the yearling now, and I bought a foal this year again. We have the two brothers. Listen, it don't work like that really with horses, but still it's nice to have them now after you have two brothers to King George winner now.
It'd be worth a bit of money down the line, surely.
Worth a bit of money down the line. They could go back to the sales as 3-year-olds. Like Hewick is by a sire that no one ever heard tell of. Last year we bought the Affinity foal, which is very popular this year, the Affinity. And we bought this year, what's he buy it on? Can't remember. But anyway, Jetaway.
Oh, Jetaway, yeah.
And he's a popular stallion as well. So like, they're by 2 good stallions and they're 2 nice foals. I wouldn't swap them out of the field for anything now. TJ and myself on between us, so please God to be lucky.
Especially after that sale during the week. Can you imagine, I suppose you would cost 800 quid. If you went through the ring now, could you put a price on them?
It'd be hard to put a price on them, so they would, but that sale during the week was an unreal sale, so there was great prices in it. And but they were very good horses too. Like, when are you ever going to get 20 horses? There's 29 horses in it. 20 of them horses are top class horses. And you don't get a sale with 20 top class horses in it.
I finish up, Shark. You might give us a dark horse to follow from the out.
Yeah, I have a 4-year-old filly, Silver Pageant. It's her name. She's I bought her off the Queen, as a matter of fact. She's a well-bred mare, so she is. They bred her, and she's one that I think the world. She's only a 4-year-old. I'm waiting for a bit. She's after done very good work for me in a school in Bumper, and she does everything right at home. So I'm just waiting for the ground to get a bit better to run her. But she's one that I think she could be on.